Help video solved by trinomial factor a greater than 1. So the first step you guys do is set the equation equal to 0. So we have to do is subtract 9x to both sides and to add by 3 to both sides. Now when you guys do this, we'll get 2x squared. Now, this negative 9x, you guys can't combine like terms, so negative 9x, but these certainly can. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. And all of that's equal to 0. Now, a is 2, b is negative 9, and c is negative 5. And what we do is we are going to factor. So when you guys factor, remember to use your guys' x method. And remember, a times c is up top and b is on the bottom. So our a times c is 2 times negative 5 for negative 10, and our b value is negative 9. So, two things that multiply to negative 10, but add together gives you guys negative 9. That's negative 10 and 1. Now, a is greater than 1, right? Since a is greater than 1, that means you have to factor by doing your X box method. So here's our box. So top left hand corner is the first term. Bottom right is the last term. And our two middle terms, you guys, come from here. Negative 10x and x. And remember, you guys could put those any place. You could put the x on the bottom left and the negative 10x up top right, or vice versa. So let's factor. So there's nothing you guys can factor from there, so this is just going to be a 1. From here, you guys, what goes into 2 and negative 10? 2. And they both have an x variable, so we can factor out an x. Now look at the row. We can't factor out a 1 out from 1 and 2. Or you can factor a 1 out from 1 and 2. But you guys can factor out an x from both x's. Because they both have an x. Now here you guys. So look at the numbers and look at the variables, right? For the numbers we have negative 10 and negative 5. So you guys can factor out a 5. But since this is negative, that means we have to pull out a negative 5. So we have x minus 5 times 2x plus 1. All of that is equal to 0. Now use your guys' 0 product rule, right? And your guys' 0 product rule is set both of these equal to 0. X minus 5 equals 0, and 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So then you guys solve for both. Subtract 1, divide both by 2. So x is going to equal to 5 and negative 1/2. And your guys' delta math, when you guys put that in delta math, you're just going to do 5 comma negative 1/2. Okay. Now let's get number 2. Okay, so for number 2, you guys, again, set the equation equals 0, so subtract 8 to both sides. 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now we got a factor, so a is equal to 3, b is equal to 4, and c is equal to negative 4. We got the x method. A times c up top, b on the bottom. A times c is negative 12, because 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Our b is 4. Two things that multiply to negative 12, but when added gives you guys 4. That is positive 6 and negative 2. And since a is greater than 1, 3 is greater than 1, that means we got a factor using the x box method. First term is 3x squared. Last term is negative 4. And the two middle terms are these two, right? 6x and negative 2x. Again, they could go in either spot. Okay, factor out from the column. We have a minus sign, so that means it's definitely going to be a minus. What goes into negative 2 and negative 4? A 2. So it's going to be negative 2. Let's look here. Look at the coefficients, right? 3 and 6. What goes into 3 and 6? 3. So we're going to factor out a 3. Now your variables, right? They both share an x, so we can factor out an x. Okay, this row. 3 and negative 2. Can't factor out anything from there, but from the variables, right? They both have an x, so we can factor out 1x. And then from here, they both then have a variable, so can't do a variable, but between 6 and negative 4, you guys, you can factor out a 2. So we're going to have x plus 2 times 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Zero product rule. Both of these factors is going to equal to 0. So x plus 2 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Solve for x. X equals negative 2. Here, add 2 to both sides. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 2/3. So on delta math, your guys' answer will be negative 2 and 3/2.